Odin is a love story which chronicles the relationship between Catherine, a self-centered executive, and the puppy she literally snatched from death's icy grip. After being rescued by her in dramatic fashion, Odin comes to see her safety and well-being as the central purpose of his existence. His love for Catherine and everything which touches her leads him to accomplish amazing things that others consider heroic, but Odin sees simply as him fulfilling his role in her life. The magic of their connection lies in their uncanny ability to comprehend one another on a level above and beyond the constraints of a traditional dog-human relationship. Even as he risks everything, overcoming the seemingly impossible to protect her, Odin sees Catherine as his hero, blindly trusting that she will always be there to save him, no matter how long the odds may appear. Although the line between the savior and the saved may become blurred at times, their unconditional love and affection for one another remains clear and unimpeachable, even in the face of certain death. The Artifact, written by Riano D. McFarland. Its journey began over 1 billion years ago. Long before the Earth had even cooled, the instrument of its destruction had already been launched. Making its way through a cosmos born of violence, the planetoid shed mass through collisions with other deep space objects, ricocheting from the magnetic fields of distant planets and plowing past the enormous celestial watchdog, Jupiter. As it traversed the asteroid field, penetrating deeper and deeper into our solar system, it was further pulverized into even smaller objects, until one of them survived the galactic assault and emerged on a collision course with Earth. After passing through the friction belt, it was stripped of excess volume, and the plum-sized white-hot missile burrowed itself deep in the heart of a glacier, where it cooled and further contracted into an unremarkable bluish-gray object, finally coming to rest on the pebble-covered shore of Lake Huron. Eons passed before it was discovered by a Native American shaman, who sensed the unlimited power of the nondescript yet extraordinary heavy artifact. An artifact capable of shaping destiny to the benefit of anyone who possessed it. In the centuries that ensued, it passed through many hands, both learning and imparting knowledge, all while advancing towards a deadline established long before the concept of time was introduced to the planet's dominant species, man. As both student and educator, the artifact held the keys to either the total annihilation of life on Earth, or its continued development and evolution into the future. Follow the uncanny journey of this pivotal object in the new novel by Riano D. McFarland, The Artifact. Tucked away on the outskirts of Shreveport, Louisiana, Patrice LaFleur inherited an estate. Within the walls of the 400-year-old sprawling Southern manor, there are secrets. Powerful secrets passed from generation to generation. As a child, Patrice had an imaginary friend with whom she shared everything. Patrice grew older and moved away, but her imaginary friend didn't. While living in the estate, Patrice kept a journal that documented her dreams, her desires, and her fears. Emotions that had slept for decades, awaiting her return. Now, after crossing a threshold she'd all but forgotten, she discovers the house remembers her, and the secrets sealed inside the journal. An hour ago, Major Oat was a celebrated test pilot from the planet Sur and the Polymethanos galaxy. Shortly after reaching exit velocity and making the dimensional leap in an experimental spacecraft, the propulsion system failed and he was forced to land the ship on Earth, in the middle of the Sahara Desert. The materials he needs to repair the ship are all available on this uncharted planet. But in order to reach them, he will have to cross the Sahara on foot. On Sur, he is a planetary hero. On Earth, he's a dromedary named Oat with a crippled spaceship, searching for a way to get home. While looking for answers in this strange new world, Oat discovers sometimes you must lose your way in order to find your destiny. Oat is the story you never expected, from a place you've never heard of, about a visitor you'll never forget. Join the conversation today at www.vanityinkonline.com/books.htm or get it at www.amazon.com.
On Earth, there are 4 Dragon Kings. Each rules over a quadrant defined by the equator and the prime meridian. In the presence of humans, each Dragon King utilizes an avatar that allows them to adapt and blend in. The Northeastern Dragon Kingdom is ruled by Jamal ad-Din Kondor. His avatar is a Bengal tiger. The Southeastern Dragon Kingdom is ruled by Kai Bak Katari. His avatar is the Australian wedge-tailed eagle. The Southwestern Dragon Kingdom is the domain of Shaka'a Santiago. His avatar is the Black Wolf. The Northwestern Dragon Kingdom is ruled by Tair Balloon Dakar. He is king of all Dragon Kings. His avatar is the Teacup Chihuahua. True power comes from within, tempered by wisdom and owned by experience. Without ego or arrogance, it defines the essence of a Dragon King. As King of Kings, Tair Balloon Dakar is not only the most powerful dragon of all time, he is Jake's dragon. Join the conversation today at vanityinkonline.com/books.htm.
A Worthy Custodian by Riano D. McFarland. For 30 years, Christopher lived a life only few people could even imagine. It was a world in which money meant everything and nothing, and excess was simply a part of the daily menu. By chance, he was unable to embark on the family cruise with the rest of his overprivileged relatives aboard a private yacht, customized to the tune of $750 million. In a family that has everything, one tends to forget that some things are beyond even their control. After fate sends the family an unmistakable message, Christopher suddenly finds himself on the receiving end of a financial avalanche, yet fully incapable of managing or even understanding the full magnitude of it. In a world beset with vipers and jackals, he would be as helpless as a sheep led to slaughter in handling the family's substantial financial assets. Luckily, his grandfather still has enough time to impart the knowledge that will save the family legacy. But the measures that need to be taken are drastic and must be implemented immediately. Although the entire ordeal seems excessive and unfair to Christopher, his grandfather's mind has already been made up, and soon Christopher will face something unheard of in the Worthy's family lineage: reality. Discover his journey in the new novel, A Worthy Custodian by Riano D. McFarland. Once upon a time in Wyoming, there was a young girl named Ioka. She lived in the Wind River Reservation on her grandfather Wyatt's horse ranch. Wyatt loved his granddaughter, even though Ioka was different than many other children. Wyatt taught her everything he knew about everything he knew. Still, without any friends, Ioka was very lonely. So Grandpa Wyatt gave Ioka a puppy. Wyatt told her, "If you take care of him, he will take care of you." Ioka loved the puppy and named him Apache. As they grew up on Wyatt's ranch, they became the best of friends. They went everywhere and did everything together. One day a foal was born in Wyatt's stable. The men who worked for Wyatt were afraid of her because her eyes were blue, just like Ioka and Apache. Ioka named her Broken Sky. Ioka, Apache, and Broken Sky were always together. Ioka loved them, and they loved Ioka. One night, rustlers crept into the stable to steal Broken Sky. The next morning, Broken Sky was gone. Ioka's heart was broken, and Apache felt her pain. But even Apache couldn't mend her broken heart, so he left to search for Broken Sky. If no one else would look for her, then Apache would. He would find Broken Sky and return her to Ioka, or he wouldn't return at all. Follow their adventure in the new novel written by Riano D. McFarland, The Search for Broken Sky.
It seemed rather peculiar that a stranger would choose the sleepy little town of Mountain Home, Idaho to open a new business. Nevertheless, there it was. Seeming to appear nearly overnight, right on Main Street across from Railroad Park. The shopkeeper, Malcolm Abernathy, was a mysterious man with an uncanny talent at fixing nearly anything that found its way through his shop door. Soon, his talent and his extensive collection of rare curiosities won notoriety that extended far beyond the city limits of Mountain Home. As fate would have it, the winds of change carried fragments of his past into the quiet place he'd carved out for himself, forcing him to confront old memories. Painful memories. If he were going to protect his new family and the peaceful life he'd built for himself, he would need to confront the elements of his past that he'd left undone. For that, he will once again immerse himself in the life he thought he'd left behind for good. Now, the man known for his skill at fixing broken things, will apply a different skill set. One his enemies will never see coming. All while trying not to upset the delicate balance he's worked so hard to achieve. In a store called I Fix Broken Things. The World According to Bandit, an autobiography. Bandit wasn't actually born on December 25th, but that was the day he was adopted by his pack. He loved and cherished them all, but his favorite by far was Mikey, the boy he got for Christmas. His new family, Malcolm, Heidi, Mikey, and Coco, were everything to him, and even as a Cane Corso puppy, he vowed never to let anyone or anything do them harm. On every day, except for Sundays, he accompanied the pack's alpha, Malcolm, to his shop called I Fix Broken Things, where Malcolm would fix other people's stuff that wasn't working anymore. For Bandit, there were only two kinds of people, those who would never hurt the members of the pack, and those who might. For those in the first group, there was nothing he wouldn't do to protect them. For the second group, if necessary, he would forfeit his own life to stop them. By the time he was fully grown, the coyotes and grizzly bears on and around the pack's forever home had already learned to give Bandit a wide berth. Soon thereafter, it was a lesson he would also impart to animals of the two-legged variety. Bandit is a tale of love, loyalty, and a willingness to make the ultimate sacrifice for his pack, should that ever become necessary. With the heart of a lion and the nature of a lamb, Bandit is kind, gentle, and a threat's most terrifying nightmare. View life through the eyes of a gigantic puppy, in The World According to Bandit, an autobiography, written by Riano D. McFarland.